Hey everyone, this is Corinne Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And today, this lovely Sunday evening, I'm speaking to a handsome man here. Yes, he seems so shocked, right? He seems, yeah, Tim Ray. And we are talking about the power of intentions. Now, I always start my show off being grateful, being thankful. People can use the word interchangeably, but I think there's a little difference between grateful and thankful. We could probably talk about that as part of the discussion in the show with Tim. But I want to be thankful about just being here today, being above ground, which means that my purpose is not yet done and I'm still on the journey. Yes? So I'm thankful to be alive, to be breathing, to still have all my faculties intact, I believe, yes. And, I can still appreciate all the simple things in the world, that is offered to me. I appreciate every simple thing I am thankful for. And you should do the same, because the more you are grateful or the more gratitude you show, you attract more gratitude. It's amazing how that works, as simple as it is. Yes? The more you are grateful is the more things that you should be grateful for come to you. Yes? So try and practice that just for one day and see how your life, may be different, as opposed to complaining about things that you shouldn't really be complaining about. So let me tell you a bit about Tim, and then we'll go straight into the discussion. So Tim Ray is an award-winning international paradigm shifting. He reminds me of Bob Proctor, and I'm sure he knows about Bob Proctor. Paradigm shifting visionary and a multi-platform media personality. Years ago, after suffering a heart attack, he doesn't look like he had a heart attack. Not that anybody would know what somebody looks like when they have a heart attack. Tim realized he needed to make a conscious, not an unconscious one, but a conscious shift. So he started United Intentions Foundation to help spread the word of health, both physically and mentally, to the world. Tim has spoken to diverse groups, both large and small, around the world. As a savvy business owner and serial entrepreneur, Tim started his first business with only one employee, himself, and turned it into a business that now employs over 200 and is making millions. Is he single? We need to marry him. Tim now owns several businesses and has devoted his time to help the world with his nonprofit, the United Intentions Foundation. Tim's passion for consciousness spreads far and wide with his children's education program, the Imagine If program, and his conscious radio network that reaches millions. Ray's mission is to spread positivity all while waking people up to the power of their intentions. Strong words there, Tim. Welcome to Between the Lines.
Thank you, Connie. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate this opportunity to share with your listeners about gratitude and so much more, because you're right. When you were talking about that, people don't realize how critical it is to have thankfulness, thankfulness, gratitude, because it releases not only an effect on your body, within your body, and actually assists with your cell growth and rejuvenating your cells, but also affects other people outside of ourselves. And when people witness an act of kindness, they actually have the biochemical releases as well. You don't have to just do the act of kindness or be in gratefulness. So it's a wonderful opening, and I just love how you shared that. Thank you.
Yes, awesome. And just to make a correction there to you, I know people like to call me all different names. It's Corinne. I'm called Connie. You call me Connie, but I'm Corinne.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I knew Connie. I knew Connie because Connie is our director at our sponsorship. So I should know better.
Is she nice?
Yes, and she's from the islands too.
She's nice.
Yes, yeah, yes.
Nice.
You may know her, Connie Lindsay. I don't know.
No. But don't you worry. If it's meant for us to meet, we will meet.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about the power of intentions, and before we go straight into that, let's look at the difference. Is there a difference between being grateful and being thankful? And when you talk about paradigm shift, immediately my thoughts go into Bob Proctor, because that's what he's all about, and you may know the name and the person. about paradigm shifting. And of course, his work is a lifetime work based on Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. So he's carrying on Napoleon's work of that whole paradigm shifting. And there are a number of other people who are in that realm as well. His name isn't coming to me right now, but it will eventually. But yeah, it will eventually. So, it's paradigm shifting, and these people, what you call her again? Abraham Hicks.
Oh yeah, Abraham Hicks. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jerry Hicks.
Esther.
Yeah, Esther Hicks and Jerry, who passed on. And she said, I remember listening to her sometime about there's a difference between being grateful and being thankful. It's like being grateful, there is still a lack. There is a neediness within being grateful. When you say I'm grateful, it's like there is, and even when I say it, it seems like there's a lack within that. But when I say
like you should be grateful.
Yeah, like I'm needy. It's like it's kind of hard to kind of explain. But when you say I'm thankful, you feel a difference. When you say I'm thankful, it's like I'm confident. I know this was mine. I expected it. But when you say I'm grateful, it's coming from a place of, well, I didn't have it, and I didn't expect to get it, and I'm so grateful that you see that I probably need it. And so thanks, But when you say I am thankful, there's a feeling, there's a difference in the wording, in what that word resonates within me. When I say I'm thankful comes across stronger, it comes across more confident, it comes across, I knew it, I expected it, it is mine, there's no doubt, but grateful comes across with, well, thanks for noticing that I needed, I really needed this. It comes from a need, as opposed to an expectation, which links back to intention. So let's start with your thoughts on that.
Sure. Well, I it's neat how one word could have a slight difference in the kind of the metaphysical world versus another word. And when you say grateful, yes, I'm grateful, but there is a sense of wishing. There's a sense of like I should be grateful. I like you said, need to be grateful. But when you say thankful, I'm very thankful. It's already accepted. You already accepted the gratefulness that you wish you had. It's already allowed. You allowed it already. And I think and not that I put too much emphasis on the actual words, but I do put the emphasis on the intention behind the words.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get caught up into, well, I don't want to ever say the word hate, or I don't want to ever say the word negative, or I don't want, and the intention behind that, when you say that, is fear. So here it is. You're saying, I don't want to attract anything negative in my life. Fear is driving that intention for the most part. But if you say, I want to experience love, I want to experience the joy of just feeling love and love for everyone, all man and womankind, that's where the difference of the intention behind that is joy, right? So it's not only so much the word, more so the intention. And I think people need to really look deeper into that when whatever word they're choosing to set their intention for the day.
Now, when you speak about intention, explain that. I mean, you say the power of intention.
Yeah.
Now, somebody might say, when I say the word intention, like what comes to me, and I laughed a while ago, is like when a guy is coming to a girl's house, visiting her and stuff like that, and the father is watching him, and he's like, "What's your intention towards my daughter?"
Yeah, because like on the surface, he looks like a really nice guy, but on the deeper surface, they don't know what his intention is. His intention is to love her, or you just want to get her alone.
Yeah.
So you don't know. But our definition, I mean, a lot of people use the word intention. They'll use purposeful thought. But at the foundation, we like to use the word a knowing that hasn't happened yet. So a knowing that hasn't happened yet. That's our definition of intention. And I think when people get into the world of law of attraction, like you mentioned, Abraham Hicks and all that jazz, and when they get into the manifestation process and collapsing from the wave into matter, and learning at the process of how our thoughts and feelings actually come first, and our reality and our experience come second.
Mm-hmm.
And when they kind of reverse that thinking that we've been programmed to believe throughout our lives, that, you know, we're victims of our experiences, and our thoughts and feelings arise from what we experience. And I'm not saying that doesn't occur. All I'm saying is, you know, the thoughts and feelings comes first. That creates the experience. And then if we keep experiencing that, we'll keep thought looping that thought and feeling, that same thought and feeling. And usually it's very negative. But once we get a grasp on how our thoughts create our reality, thoughts first, reality second, that's when it becomes interesting. And that's when you start realizing how when you go from doubt to knowing, from doubt to knowing, that's when you start seeing things manifest in your life. When you know something's going to happen, you have this knowing. And we even created what we call the intention scale at our foundation, which actually measures that. And it's your own personal belief, of course, but it measures from definitely not likely, maybe, to definitely, to likely, to definitely. And it basically measures where are you presently on that intention, on that belief of that intention will manifest in your life. And you've got to be honest with yourself. I'm not a maybe, or I'm not a not likely. Then most likely, if what will manifest, you may be wanting the Lamborghini, but you may end up with a Hyundai. You know, so when you go from, and I say that not lightly, because there's a lot more to it, because now you've got to bring in your subconscious mind, Connie, that runs the show. Your subconscious mind's, you know, a million times more powerful than your conscious mind. But when you could sync your subconscious belief on that one intention with your conscious belief on that one intention, that's when you start seeing the knowing happen, and that's when you start seeing things unfold right in front of your own eyes.
Yeah. No, we're talking a number of things here. You're mentioning subconscious mind, the conscious mind, things that people are like, what the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? What are we talking about? Law of attraction, moving from doubting to knowing. Nobody's really walking around dissecting and thinking about these things. They're just walking around him. You know that. They're just walking around. They're not aware. And this is why I focus when I was reading your bio, you know, and emphasize on the word conscious. You know, there are a lot of people that are unconscious out here. They're like walking dead. You see them. I mean, I see them. They don't see them.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
But, you know, and I'll tell you what, it's all relative, because I am much more conscious today than I was yesterday, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And I know I'll be more conscious tomorrow, 10 years from now, than I am today. So to me, it's everyone's on their own journey of awakening, of awareness, of moving unconscious into conscious. The question is, when do you want to really realize that you don't have to be a victim anymore? Because because victims are unconscious people. They're not realizing that they're creating the good, the bad, and the ugly in their life with their thoughts and feelings. They're thinking that whatever happens to me is I'm a victim of the circumstances. And they're never going to get out of that unconscious, repetitive, thought looping cycle until they break that routine of realizing, wow, am I creating this? Am I creating a frequency? And everything's energy. Everything's vibrating at certain frequencies and certain hertz. Am I creating a frequency of a lower vibration of experience that's attracting all these negative things? And if I'm in charge of that, and if I could actually determine what that frequency will be, a lower or higher frequency of energy, love versus fear, negative versus positive, whatever, and I can actually have a choice. I can make it conscious and conscious choice by observing what's unconsciously going on in my life and bringing that unconscious belief into a conscious moment of awareness. If I have that power, wow, now the whole world opens up to you, what you can create. And now maybe you'll start choosing not to create all the negative or all the self-sabotaging decisions we make, because consciously we think we're making a great decision, and unconsciously it's doing the opposite. And it's much more powerful. So once people wake up to that, I think it's a whole new game for them, and that's when life becomes exciting, and we're not demoralized, and we're not destabilizing our own plans and sabotaging our own issues. And then you know, wow, now you realize why it's so great to be a human, be alive during these times of uncertainty and exciting times, right?
Well, listen, you know, you say wake up. Everybody wakes up just like how we normally wake up physically in this dimension, in this world. We wake up at different times. We all don't wake up at the same time. And so we woke up, you woke up at a particular time. A heart attack is what it took you. Different situation in my situation is what took me to wake up You know, I've always been questioning. I knew something was different. You know, that has always been in my mind all along. I'm different. I just didn't put my finger on it. And, you know, over time, I was led on a particular path that now it becomes even more so. And it's even challenging because once you know, Tim, once you have decided to go on this spiritual path, this path of awakening, this path of consciousness, it's not going to be easy. It's the most difficult journey.
Well, you go back and forth, you know.
Yes.
It's like in the Matrix when he was like, the one guy was like, I know I'm eating this piece of steak and I know it's not real, but you know, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know? And so, and then you pulled out of the Matrix of realizing that, you know, we go back and forth all the time, and we don't want to take responsibility. And then we don't want to take responsibility. And then things go bad. We don't want to take responsibility of that we created it. It is a back and forth, and that's frustrating. Yeah. But it's the prodigal son journey, isn't it? You know, we go out, we come back, and we're different.
Yeah. And it's so funny how all these things link. You know, like how you mentioned about the guy in the Matrix and bringing it back to a biblical scenario. It's so funny. Why did it take a heart attack for you to realize to become conscious? Why does it always have to take something drastic?
Sure. Well, the heart attack was a conscious awakening for me in reference to my health and that I was really not dealing with it. But really what truly probably woke me up on the conscious level was I had a very successful home healthcare company, multi-million-dollar business, started from scratch. And I was making money. I had everything going on right for me, but I was always watching the news, and I was always creating other people's intentions. The news said to feel this way. The news says to do this. And usually it's very negative if you haven't watched the news, right? And I got caught up into that, you know, the Reds against the Blues and here in the States. And all these things that you get caught in, the divide and conquer, you know, now it's the you know, the gays against the straights, or the transgenders against the bisexuals, you know, whatever it is to divide and conquer, you know, it is in place, and it's a propaganda being put out every day in not only the news here, at least in the States, but also in the entertainment industry, in every level of our lives. So I was literally at a point, Connie, I was going to build a bunker, and I could afford to build a bunker and live in it, or I was going to step up into this stinking thinking, this negative perception, because I know as I hear all this information, people think about, oh, it's all about health. You got to eat healthy, right? No, what's really, we got to think about what we put in our heads. What we allow in our head is this is unhealthy, or dangerous, than the food we put in.
Yeah, that's a one thing. That's a one resource we have to protect. Your mind.
Absolutely. And so I started the United Intentions Foundation out of that thought. I knew that if I changed my perception, I could change my reality. My thoughts create my, and I say my thoughts co-create my reality. I co-create my reality with God.
It starts with that. Yeah.
Yes. And with God, and I don't care if you want to say Jesus, if you want to say the collective conscious, you want to say God, God is all there is. But with a higher power, I co-create my reality every day. And so when I wake up now after that realization that I unplugged, I haven't watched the news in 8 years. You know, I can't even stand at the gym watching it on the TV screen. You know, it's just I listen. I'm just as up to date. I have a UI media network where we create our own media every day now, and so I haven't lost anything by not listening to what the propaganda is being given to me.
Exactly.
In fact, I have a little.
Your life is actually, you have a better quality of life now, I'm sure.
I do. You know, if I, this is my rule of thumb, and you probably agree, Connie, is I'll take whatever the media is saying, I'll take 80% of it and I'll reverse it and I'll say it's just the opposite. The truth is just the opposite. And I'm about 80% correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I like what you said before, you know, you were so much, it's like being a puppet to whatever the so-called reality in this third dimension is saying. You know, you are not being yourself, your true self. You're jumping to the tune of this one, you're jumping to the tune of that one, the beat of this one, the drum of that one, and you're losing who you are. There comes a point where you're like, what the hell? What is going on? I'm confused. I don't know who I am.
What's upside down is right side up. What's sideways, you know, it's all, and that's why we got to fall back on our own intuition, our own internal system.
But the thing is, Tim, people lose their intuition because it drowns out the intuition over time. If you keep living in that particular reality, which is not your reality, it's going to drown your intuition, because your intuition is a nice, soft,
loving.
Yeah, loving, meek little voice.
Yeah. That only wants love and the best for everyone.
Oh my God. Oh
And,
my God.
and we don't even teach our kids this in our educational system. In fact, if I had to do my parenting over one more time, I would have taught my kids, because I only have them for 18 years for the most part. Then you got to send them out into the world, and who knows what will happen, right?
Yeah.
So if I had to teach them again, I would have taught them to really, really focus in on their instincts, focus in on their at a young age, focus in on their internal guidance system, which is connected to God.
Oh yes, to the higher source. You can't go wrong. You can't. But we know it, Tim. We know it. We go through things every day.
Yeah.
And we get this feeling, because your intuition is a feeling, even though I said it's a voice, because it actually talks to me. It's your inner child. It actually talks to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear a little voice. But, you would say, I knew it. I felt something about that. Something felt wrong, but I went against the feeling. It tells you.
Yeah.
And you allow the ego, you allow your mind to work a number on you, to do that whole left shoulder, right shoulder discussion, the whole logic, because your intuition is not logical. It's a feeling that is always right.
I wake up, Connie, every day. I create Tim Ray News. Every morning, I'm like, today's going to be a beautiful day. We're going to have a great experience.
Yes.
And this is how I do my news every day. So I don't need to watch the news, because I know I'm creating my own news. And the news that I want.
It doesn't matter what's happening out there. Storm could be coming, hurricane.
All our services and all our products at the foundation all revolves around exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's about how you can change your perspective and focus on what you want to create in your life. We have these intentional planners that allows you to do a daily process where you not only keep track of your tasks and everything, but also how you actually create intentions each day. And then you can track them to manifestation throughout every day, 365 days in the year. And so you're actually measuring this, and you're experimenting with the law of attraction and the law of manifestation.
Right.
And you measure that on a daily basis. And so this is so critical, because we don't realize that how our state of being is manifesting our reality every nanosecond.
But this is it.
Go down, you track it, you can.
Yeah, this is it. And it happens, and we are so not even conscious. I wouldn't even say they are not even conscious. They don't even realize, a simple thing that we say, oh my God, I just thought about you. And next thing you know, Tim shows up.
Yeah.
What do you think that is? Oh my God, I was just thinking about you, and the phone rings. Wow.
Yeah. That's the law of attraction. Einstein said it, and I don't know why we don't listen to more, because there's science here. And he said it, a long time ago. You want to experience a certain reality, then all you got to do is match that reality of what you want to experience, match that frequency of what you want to experience in that reality, and then you'll have it. So, I'm paraphrasing, but basically everything's energy, everything's vibrating at frequencies.
Exactly.
And frequencies match frequencies. Unlike frequency won't match that, unless there's something that, they need to learn. But there's a matching frequency within yourself. So you just create the frequency you want to be living, and watch yourself attract new type of experiences. It's that simple.
And not only that, it will also repel the people who are not on your frequency.
They can't. It's not even repel. They can't meet you. They can't even get to your frequency, because it's not matching. It's like, you're dealing with apples and they're dealing with numbers. You're in a whole other dimension.
Yeah.
They can't even reach you, because it's not the same frequency. You can't dial in on that frequency.
You can't dial in. I like that. You can't dial in. Sorry. Wrong connection.
That was 99.5. I'm sorry. We're at 104.3. You can't get to us here.
That's right. I'm sorry. You can't dial in here. Sorry. You're getting pure.
But you go to 104.3, then you can talk to me.
Yeah. If you can get there.
If you get there. And that frequency will be about love and opportunity.
That's right. You can't hop on that frequency if you're not about love. Sorry.
Absolutely.
We will reject you.
But back to what you're saying, Connie, that really was my inspiration of why I even created United Intentions Foundation. All about showing people how their thoughts create the reality. We have this children's program called the Imagineer program that does just that. It teaches kids, social emotional learning program, that teaches kids from 1st grade to 12th grade that their thoughts create the reality. You change your perception, you change your experience. Imagine, Connie, if you knew that in 1st grade, or if I knew that in 1st grade, where would we be today?
Go there. That's just out of this world. I'm telling you, out of this world. Because I'm all about love, Tim. I'm all about. Some people just don't understand that, and I'm so much about love.
Yeah, I see that.
It
I
is.
sense it. I feel it.
Yeah, I am so much about love. I cannot help myself. It is amazing. I wouldn't even say it is amazing. It is painful for me. Even if I wanted to dislike you, I can't. No, even if I try, let's say I try to dislike you, I say, okay, you see this? I am going to dislike him. I am trying to conjure up the feeling, and it is not working.
That you are hardwired for love.
Yeah,
Connie, that's
I can't.
that you're probably a 7 in numerology. You're connected directly to God.
Yeah, I just cannot for the life, no matter how much I try. I try. I say I'm going to dislike Ray. I'm going to. I'm just. He did me something. He did something to me that offended me, and I'm not going to like him. And for the life, it's the more I love you. It's the more I would love you. I just can't.
But that's also, I'm sure, a practice of thankfulness, a practice of acts of kindness, a daily practice.
Yes.
Of these type of things, and also the programming. Like we started the UI Media Network. We have people just like you, Connie, are on our network every day. They're sharing these type of experiences, loving experiences, and so when now you're getting, instead of garbage from the mainstream news or the entertainment industry or whatever they're putting out, but you're getting now information that is uplifting, positive, informative, life-changing, connected to God, and information every day. Yeah. Now you can be hardwired to where you are, Connie, where you have to love everybody. You can't help.
I don't have a choice. And the thing is, I don't have a choice. Yeah. And it's poured into me from my higher source, my spirit. The other day, yesterday I was telling a friend, I said I was so overwhelmed with love. Like I felt like I would have burst. I mean, it was so strong I started to cry. Because there was no other way for it to pour out of me. Now that I'm talking about it, right. The tears just started to flow because I was swelling up and felt like I could have burst with this warmth, emotion of love. Like it was overwhelming me. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing to me? What are you asking me to do?
Absolutely.
What are you asking me? I have no choice but to follow his will. I have no choice, Tim. So as much as people may be doing me things, or feel they're doing me, let me say it like that, feel they're doing me something, they're not. They're actually hurting themselves.
Well, it's a perception thing. And when you realize that, like in the 4 agreements, you don't take it personally, because how can you? They don't know you. You don't even know yourself for the most part, you know? So, I mean, if I don't know myself, and you definitely can't know me, other than my connection to God, maybe they know me through they see God in me as they see in you, Outside of that, that's the only thing I'd really accept, that they can understand me. So how can I take it personally?
Yeah. And why take it personally, really? I mean, what can they do you? What can they do you?
Exactly.
When you belong to a higher source, what can they do you? When you're protected, you're guided and supported by somebody bigger than they are. Really?
Yeah. I believe you'll find God in everywhere, I mean, in the 99.9% of the empty space in every molecule that we have, and the subconscious mind. I know when people like subconscious mind, what is that? What does that mean? But that runs the show. I mean, this is what's really truly manifesting our day-to-day life is we're unconscious of it. We're like a car, driving a car. I say it all the time. And the unconscious mind or the subconscious mind is in the back seat, directing the car where to go. It's not even having a hand on the steering wheel. So the car is going in all different types of directions. Until you get your conscious intention and you get your conscious attention to grab that steering wheel. Yeah. Even though you're getting the subconscious still really in charge, but you're more likely to move into the direction where you want to go to. But and when you acknowledge your unconscious beliefs in the back seat of the car, when your conscious intention acknowledge that and says, you know what, maybe my procrastination is not just me being lazy and watching television. Maybe my procrastination is actually a failure belief that was created when I was younger in my life, first 7 years, most influential time, failure belief, a failure program that I'm going to self-sabotage my success because I don't feel good enough. I don't feel like I deserve it. And what if you uncovered in the backseat of that car, that specific unconscious belief,
Yeah.
Now you're conscious about it. Now you have the intention to know it. Not that it's going to change, because you're talking about years and years of the neural pathways being laid down to feel that way. However, you're conscious of it now, and now you can start looking at reprogramming a new neural pathway of success and strategies. And I think that's a direction that I think most people, if they wake up to that, they can actually become more of the conscious driver in their life, creating what they truly, really want to experience.
The power of intention, meaning that they, once you have made that purposeful thought that this is what I want to be, this is who I want to be, this is where I want to go, and you just push emotions behind that. You have your subconscious, because the subconscious is really about emotions. It doesn't know right from wrong. It doesn't know yes from no. It just knows this is what you feel. This is the emotional aspect. Because once you pump emotions behind it, that intention, oh wow, that is when everything becomes manifested and it takes form. Like Bob Proctor says, everything is created twice, in thought and in form. It's already there.
Exactly.
It isn't created when you see it. It was already created in your mind. You see it. It's already there. So it's created.
It's a knowing, right, Connie?
Yeah. It's a knowing.
When you shift from doubt, which is fear, to knowing, which is love, things start appearing the way you want it to appear, not the way your subconscious, and usually your subconscious or unconscious beliefs are very negative. They're sabotaging beliefs. And usually when you're conscious of it, then you start seeing things in your life that you truly want and desire.
Yes, awesome. I want to switch over to your website here.
Sure.
Tim, just give me a second. Let me do a quick share of my screen.
Okay. If you go to unitedintentions.org, is that the website you're looking at?
No, I am at Tim Ray Speaks.
Oh, okay. That one's a good one too.
Right? Who says that? You?
Yeah. From my humble opinion.
What I like about it is that in the shop, let me see if my internet is going to work with me here today. Let me shift you out. I like how I went through it yesterday. You have some really great stuff that I think people should, really get. You want to
those fast track products are great. That's what, you're literally bypassing your stinking thinking, and you're a millionaire fat. You're bypassing your stinking thinking. And you're downloading over 60,000 new strategies of success into your brain every 30 minutes. And so you're creating a new neural pathway that your conscious mind will pull from, rather than the old negative beliefs. I
like that. When you talk about the planner, get your planner now. So for the entire year, you have something. Yes.
The seeds of intention and sprouts of intention. Seeds of intention is the first half of the year, and the sprouts of intention is the second. And there's lesson plans in each, not lesson plans, but this lessons you could read each week. And you have a little flavor of what to focus on if you want to start creating intentions. As you create intentions, you realize that wow, I'm tracking this, because most of the time we have a thought, it's lost.
Yes.
Because the thoughts are invisible. You can't put your hand on them.
You can't hold it. It's fleeting. Yes.
Yeah. So if you could get a thought that's important to you, an intention that's important to you on paper, where you can go back and repeat it. Repetition is the way to create a new neural pathway. Repetition and, of course, positive programming. So you could have a chance to honor that. And we have a four-part series, a four-part process of creating intentions that we put together, that not only in that process, in the books you could have, but also we're creating a community where you can actually do the same.
Nice. I see you have your ebooks here.
Yep, we have some ebooks there for, we pulled from some of our best shows with some of our best guests we've had on. Susan McDowell, really, she's wonderful. We just talked about things of this, talk about death. We talk about attraction. We talk about whole different topics that most people don't talk about, because we're scared to talk about it.
Of course, and death is one thing people are afraid of talking about, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Death, death and many things. And the Millionaire Fast Track right there is that where that actually there's over 100 strategies, successful strategies, the best entrepreneurs in the world put together. Things like, I always close the prospect, or I always go back and follow up after my meetings. These strategies that we don't believe, because the subconscious mind I'll never follow up on that, because we're sabotaging it, because I'm not, I don't feel like I'm good enough. This is being embedded in your neuron, and it's embedded at threshold, which means where your conscious mind meets your subconscious mind. So you could fire and wire in your brain at that moment, whatever that strategy may be. So you hear something, but you don't actually hear the strategy to negate it. And it gets embedded in the subconscious, and a new neural pathway is set with these strategies that now that you'll be pulling from. It's like you're switching from an old program of pulling up failure to a new program of success, because you never had these strategies in your life before. It was never embedded in your subconscious, but here it is. And you start seeing your behavior change. Wow, why am I getting up so early? You know, that's not usually me, because you have a new subconscious belief of success. And that's the fascinating part about it.
Yeah. I like the programs that you have, you know, to be able to offer. Give me a kind of price range that persons may get for, you know, just a price range for all.
Sure. The planners, I think they're selling now for $39 online. And then the ebooks, one is free, then they're only $4 a piece. And then the fast track products, we put our prices they're about $1,500, but there's money back guarantee after 90 days, and also they can pay installment payments if they want to. And those are really the most effective. That's propriety of top scientists putting these programs together. And then the DVDs, I think we're selling them for $25 online. But these DVDs we captured the top integrative doctors in the world: Dr. Mercola, Dr. Cowden, Dr. Sinatra, Dr. Seeley, the top functional doctors who have been fighting the system from day one on how we heal ourselves from a holistic perspective. We can't look at our body from a heart problem or a liver problem, or we got to look at ourselves from a holistic perspective. And they shared their secret sauce in 21 hours of information that they should tell you that you could get your life back and that you could heal yourself by certain natural remedies and staying and detoxifying yourself. Because right now, I'm sure you know, Connie, we're being toxified from the land, the sea, and the water.
Of course. I'm thankful I live on an island.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're glad about that, right?
Right.
But I would not be surprised that you guys are growing genetically modified foods out there, because you're forced to. And these GMOs are and people, you know why this is what's fascinating. Everyone that I know is on this gluten-free diet. Have you seen that? Has it hit the islands yet, the gluten-free diet?
No.
Not much. Well, good. Well, because maybe good. As long as you don't have genetically modified foods there, then that's fine. But it's not the gluten-free diets that's causing the trouble or causing the inflammation in your body. It's not the gluten. It's the glyphosate. It's the Roundup chemical that they're putting in these genetically modified seeds that's caused in the gluten, which is wheat, right? Which is causing the inflammation of the body and poisoning the body, so your immune system has to work overtime until it collapses.
Wow.
And then you get a chronic illness like cancer, MS, whatever it may be. So it's a glyphosate-free diet you got to be focused on, not a gluten-free diet.
Do you know long ago people never, and I mean long ago, when people lived off the land naturally, they never had all these problems.
They ate gluten all the time. It's always
What is going on?
That's why it's misleading. We're poisoning our humanity here. We're poisoning them from the sky with the metals that are falling down from the sky, from the glyphosate.
They weren't sick. There were no doctors. There were no right. What is going on? Give me the other website. Let me hop across quickly.
UnitedIntentions.org.
Oh, did I have it? United Intentions.
You spelled that right. Great. First time.
Yeah, I tried.
So we have if you click on like UI Media Net, we'll go scroll down there. That just takes you to join our community, which we have a community on here where people could not only track, create, and manifest intentions, but I think that may be hooked up to our app. I'm not sure yet, but actually, you can do that. Click on it if you want, and then I can
click on it.
I think so.
Okay, let's give it a go.
Okay.
Oh, it made me download something. I think
this is where people would sign in. But if you go back to that other page, they would sign in on that. But if you go back to the page up on top.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm trying to go back to the top. Yeah.
Oh, yes, great. but if people want to get to all, like if you click on UI Media Network there,
Mm-hmm.
that will take you right to our media site. We started a UI Media Network a handful of years ago, and this is all about basically raising the frequency. We call it, UI Media Network raising the frequency, right?
Okay. It's taken a while to load. Clearly,
That's okay.
a lot of information in there.
Yeah, it's just internet stuff, I'm sure. But as it loads up, we develop. Our goal is to get about 30 more new shows by the end of the quarter. But we're bringing in only conscious media, only conscious-minded people, and that meaning people who are about awareness and truth, who understand God, or at least their connection to God, the source.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the folks that the information we want them putting out into the world is that aspect of what they can actually do. I know it's very slow for some reason, I don't know why, but it's and you can not only watch, but you could actually listen to the different shows that we have. You can watch the video or listen to the shows. And it's a way that people can check out. They can live stream, they download the app onto their cell phone, whatever it may be. And it's a great place for people just to get new information rather than have to going to the old mainstream media to get the propaganda that's lowering your frequency, lowering your vibration, that's getting negative information, getting you fear-based, making it to a point where you don't want to get out of bed. You just want to stay home all the time.
Yeah,
all day long, right? So
no
they can watch
to live.
Exactly.
No way to live.
But demoralized. Yeah. And here you get some positive information pumped into you in your brain to assist with all this other stuff that you're doing. I know that one took a long time, but if you go to the Imagine If program, if you have time, just click on. Click on the others.
It's gonna take some time to go to that. So I will I think I saw that before. So let me.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So let's click here. But imagine if people can click on that link when they go back to the other. I think it's here, right?
Yeah.
Because it took a while to load, and that's the thing.
Yeah. Don't worry about it then. That's this.
It came up quickly. What's that?
So this is all about our children's program that shows children from 1st grade to 12th grade how they can create their reality. Click on X on that too.
Oh, yeah.
How they could create the reality and get these programs in their kids' schools, which overlap any curriculum, because you're learning how you change your perception, you change what you experience as a little kid, but in terms that they understand. We don't use the word intention, more so we use the word goal. And they're learning the word goal, and how have them put on glasses. If they look at life differently with these colored glasses, they'll see different things.
Yeah.
And first they got to change their thoughts and be still and ask questions to yourself and learn your own internal guidance.
And you really have to target the kids from as young as possible, even from in the womb. Try to get them from there,
Absolutely.
But you're doing fabulous work. I'm going to stop sharing here now. You're doing fabulous work. Fabulous work. You're determined to get the message out there. You're determined to wake up people. If you could hold them and shake them and wake them up, you could.
I tried it in the past. It doesn't seim to work too well.
Right? Because I tried it too. It doesn't. It doesn't work like that.
There's a great quote, and you'll probably appreciate this, but I found out a long time ago that this quote is that we teach the lessons that we need to learn the most. Yeah. So whatever the experts out there are teaching lessons, just remember in the back of our minds, those are the lessons that they need to learn the most. So apparently, I need to learn the most right now in this lifetime, present lifetime in my life right at this moment, is the power of intentions. And trust me, I could fall out of the flow at any given time, but it keeps me on track. It keeps me in motion. So I know I'm teaching the lessons that I need to learn the most. And hopefully other people will be attracted to it.
And just to round off the show, to end off, that is a question that we all need to ask ourselves and to ask the universe. When we are going through a challenging time, is not to say why me, is why not me, and to say, what is the lesson you want me to learn? Yes. Don't look to blame, don't look to judge, don't look to feel shame and guilt and pound on yourself. Just humbly say, why not me? And what is the lesson I'm here to learn? And you won't believe, just submitting yourself to that, humbling yourself to that, you're going to start getting the answers.
Amen to that. That's beautifully stated, Connie. Perfectly stated. And I want to thank you so much for this time. I really enjoyed it. And I hope we can spend some time together. You're a wonderful, loving soul.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. This is not the end of us. This is the beginning, Tim. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. I want to thank you so much for being on Between the Lines, for sharing your wisdom, for sharing all the work that you're doing, all the resources that you have been creating to help others around the world. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. You just never know. It mightn't be in your lifetime on this earth. It may be in another lifetime, somewhere else, and pass on from generation to generation. But the work is going to continue. I'm promising you that. Thank you so much for being on Between the Lines.
Thank you, Connie.